have said exactly what you saw in that title card.
This show carries a government health warning.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead. It's a brand new day.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale.
This is insane.
Now prepare to experience the most outrageous man on radio.
The station for more fun in the sun.
Good morning. Quality, quantity, and variety.
ROCKFLUX.
Let's get this show on the road.
It's an excursion into the odd and into the very, very different.
Oh, no.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Laughing Girl. I was saying earlier, I don't know if it made it on there or not. How many people that you know have said things are upside down and inside out, in the past couple of years, right? When I first asked my voice assistant this morning what time it was, she said it was like 12:30 or something like that, 1-ish. And then later it was like 2-ish. I was having some weird, like kind of nightmarish, odd, bizarre, hospital-ish, medical type of, I don't know, half-waking dream and stuff. But I don't know. It's 3:33 a.m. Eastern Time. And that's happened to us a couple of times. At least one I can remember, but I think it might have happened more than once. 3:33 for you people into like numerology or whatever. It's the 11th of, I was thinking it was even the 10th. It's actually the 11th of May in the calendar year 2022. Get my bearings straight here. And it's the former United States. And that photo I plopped up there just to get it out of the way is the front part of my garage at the end of my yard. And it's got that weird, there's more to this picture. Yeah, there's even some more, even weirder. Let's get the whole thing in there. This is like the combination. There's like a workbench on the other side too. But I mean, this was a combination workshop. And then this makeshift bar that I put together that's almost practically freestanding. Those boards on the end are just like keep that end there. But it hasn't been used in 2 years. And the stuff on the floor is like some seed packs. I've just started to clean this place out. And that weird, like, it's like zebra patch, zebra thing, that didn't work out right. And so I was going to use that for something, and it just looks too weird. So I ended up throwing it in the garage. But at one point, this was kind of a funky space with all the bar accoutrement. But anyway, now I have to clear off. It's the roof. That roof is leaking too. So it's one of those places that it's another place I've got to work on the roof. But everything's upside down and inside out. This thing doesn't even have to be big because it's so easy to read. That's the title of today's show. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm crazy.
You're listening to Tony Caravan Live.
The title of the show, They're Killing Us and Driving Us Mad for what? And it says for profit? ? And I put in a chat, I think I'm ready for the farm. That's a line from a Genya Ravan song called Junkman. I think I'm ready for the farm. That's like the funny farm. And I honestly do. I think I'm ready for the funny farm. I don't think they have them anymore, but I'm ready for it. So as usual, hopefully the coffee will wake me up. But yeah, everything's upside down and inside out. And, it's starting to take a toll on me. Now, right now, generally physically, apart from being, the morning beginning of the show, a little bit tired, and some floating pains that, go from different parts of my body here or there, but nothing constant. I would say generally I'm okay. I had like a couple of prunes, some blackberries, a few blackberries, and an apple, Granny Smith apple for breakfast with like a, couple of I took, what do I take? That a milk thistle and a cod liver oil pill. It's like fish oil. And the other one's like supposedly good for your liver or gallbladder or something like that. I don't know. People take it healthy. I got a doctor's appointment next Monday. I'm going to get a blood test to see what's going on, make sure I'm okay and all that stuff. That doesn't work out, then I think I'm ready for the farm. There used to be a psychiatrist like 2 doors down from me, but he died. The building's for sale now. It's an office building. It's a nice office building. If I would probably get it. If this were 10 years ago, I'd probably buy that place and use it as an office. But it's like everything's upside down and inside out, and people are actually dying, and people are like going mad, and I admire those that are holding on to their sanity, and in these crazy days, because like I said in my description, I'm barely holding on. I'll tell you. It's wacky. Anyway, so let's
The Weather Watch forecast.
Let's see what's going on. I planted my tomatoes. I bit the bullet and planted some tomatoes in one of my pepper plants yesterday. It's 46 degrees. I don't think they're going to die. I mean, that's not frost. You don't have a frost at 46. You might have a frost in the high 30s, you could get a frost, but taking things into consideration, I think I didn't really jump the gun. I was outside. It was hot yesterday on my patio area. Like I say, you can't see it with the lighting here so bad. But yeah, I definitely got like a sunburnish, a couple more days of this. Today's supposed to be sunny, 75 and 50 degrees overnight. So it's perfect for having tomatoes in the plant, planted in the ground. And Thursday, there's a 10% chance of like whatever, I don't know, but there's a sun behind the clouds. So it should be some sun, 73 for the high, 57 for the low. Friday, 20% chance of whatever. There's still a sun behind the clouds, 73, 61 for the low. And then, if you're interested,
Weekend weather.
Saturday, 70% chance of thunderstorms, 73 for the high, 57 for the low. And Sunday, 40% chance of thunderstorms, 75 for the high, and 57 for the low.
The Weather Watch forecast.
So anyway, it looks like we might get a washed out rainy weekend, and I have to like make sure that my subconscious, my id or whatever it is, doesn't drive me into some kind of AFib situation, in anticipation of the running up and down the stairs. I'm so tired of draining of that collecting. In other words, my roof leaks into the collection bins. I've done a good job. I should be congratulated for solving the problem to where I'm capturing it, but I have to use that battery pump to pump it into a bucket and then dump it out the window. And if it rains really hard, it's like trips up there, too many trips up there. I don't even want to talk about it. It took me 3 days to get over it. I had 2 days I was really out of it, and I still have that rodent in the backyard bothering the birds. And just, yesterday I shored up my garden. like in a lot of areas. But its primary and it wasn't around at all because, like I say, if humans are around, they don't like they stay out of the way. But about an hour or so after I came in the house, might have even been 2, I looked out my second floor window. That's where my bedroom is. And sure enough, the thing was down there eating. So I don't know what to do. I'm just tired of buying concrete and patching holes and stuff. It dug under my dwarf Christmas tree again. Can't be any roots left in there, but I still had some of that tree and shrub soil, that's kind of like put together just for trees and shrubs, has the right nutrients or whatever that they need to fill that hole, and I tried to fill it as best as possible. Not too tight so the roots could breathe, but I'm wondering if there's any roots left because this thing the holes are in different spots every time, and it's like, pick that spot. It's weird. And this crazy woman on the other side of the fence, where they live, where they come in from, she can't see a hole and block it. If she would block it from her side, there'd be no problem. There's no communicating with her. Anyway, those things I have to deal with. So,
You're listening to Tony Caravan Live.
So that's my life.
Really funny. Really funny.
Yeah, it's really funny. Really funny. This hat's starting to look funny too. I think I need a new look. It's time for a new look. So how do we proceed, if everything's upside down and inside out? And you just see more and more, like, it's like there's just all these things going on. And like I said, I'm not here to be a doomsayer. I'm just hoping they don't cut me off and I have to like restart and reboot again and go through that song and dance, which has been happening a lot lately. But I'm like yesterday's show when I said, it's all about happiness. Health. You could tie health and happiness into it and all that stuff. But I mean, it ultimately boils down to a simple, word, happiness. And it seems that the powers that be just don't want us to be happy, right? They want to deprive us of happiness. I went to the grocery store. Those who watch the show, regularly, I have no idea who and how many, because I'm on different sites now. And each site, YouTube gets like the lowest amount of views of all of the sites that I'm on, which is weird. You would think YouTube, I would have the highest numbers, but I don't. The highest numbers come from the other sites. So I don't know who's listening, who's watching, and all that stuff. But to all you people out there, thanks for watching and,
Good morning.
and all that, happy, what, right?
Brilliant!
But so I said yesterday I was contemplating walking down to the grocery store, and I did. And I was surprised. It was a half and half day. There are certain things I was going to order from this Instacart place. And like I say, I'm not monetized. This thing in the back is that's like an object dart. I'm just messing with them. All right. I made that on my copy machine. But I'm not monetized. Yes, I've written 10 books and 50 songs, and I have a clothing line, but it's all through third party. And I have great solar stuff, and there's power backup things and all that stuff. But it's all through third party stuff. You get a commission. But like I say, you can listen to my songs on Spotify, and I'm lucky if I make a penny in royalties. You could buy a book or one of those things, and I'm lucky if I make 50 cents. And to date, nobody's buying. So just to put things in perspective so you understand where I'm coming from. I'm not making a living at this. I'm not even making any money at this. But it's I feel driven to do this. It's a creative outlet, I guess, and it's something to do because I'm on this weird time frame. I get up, it's 3:46 a.m. I mean, what am I going to do, right? Sit there. And I don't know how much longer I'll do it, I just may go back to reading books or something. But I have been spending time tending my garden. That said, I went to the grocery store yesterday. Let's keep it on topic. And did my walk, got some exercise, was cool, brisk morning. And, but, it's fine. I keep worrying, I got so much worrying, but, maybe I got heart problems because I've gotten these, a flutter type of, arrhythmia type of things from time to time. And I was seeing an electrocardiologist, 5 years ago. But then my personal doctor, and I had things like stress tests and stuff like that, and they turned out okay. And then my personal doctor, one time I had my heart was beating fast while I was actually at an appointment, and he put me on the, wired me. And then he looked at the various, ding, dings, and said, that's not that. He goes, that's like some kind of, brought on by stress or something, something like that. And I'm going like, I don't feel that stressed out necessarily. He goes, yeah, but these things like it could be, it's like layers of stress and subconscious, and you're not, it's like it just builds up and then it takes you out physically. And I'm not talking to you as a medical professional. I'm just repeating what, I've been told. And, it's that whole concept of layers of stress. Anyway, I was, this past week, I've had some, kind of felt like weird and that kind of thing again. But then the past couple of days is okay. I walk down the street. I walk back up this hill carrying the bags. Didn't get in the house and wasn't, anything like that. Just, in other words, I don't know. I'm not having shortness of breath. I can walk. I can exercise. I could do work in the yard. It's just that, like you get these layers of stress. When you have too many things, sometimes your subconscious works against you. It's like when you go see a shrink, sometimes they'll tell you there's something called self-sabotage. It's like your subconscious is like sabotaging your conscious life. I think that these people in charge, the ruling elite, have figured out how to do that, and I think that's what they're doing. They're messing with us. But anyway, so I go to the grocery store. Let's keep on target here. Target and topic. And I'm down there, and I'm going to buy, like I said, I was going to split this up between the physical supermarket and then the other half of my budgeted money for food, I was going to use Instacart and have that delivered because I get some of that stuff, I'll tell you outright, at Aldi, and they have some things that are neat. Like they have some, authentic kosher dill pickles, right? You can't get those at the grocery store. I mean, these things have that bite, that crunch, that taste. It's like a New York deli pickle. There's certain items I just like to get from them. And so, so I split my budget. I budget myself. If you look at I always tell people about this. It's not the main reason to get this book, but I've opened to it so many times that finally it's starting. I ought to dog ear it. That's what I ought to do. I'm going to dog ear it. But, the monthly budget page, that's why I always say get this book in print because, it's got that and there's a lot of photos and different things in here and some other helpful stuff. Both Then What, which is up here, there's a picture of it there, and Codex back here, these are my most recent books. I have 10 books. Those are the most recent. They're like definitely companion pieces if you've been a regular viewer of this show. They're flow of consciousness for the most part, but they have some interesting things in it. Codex starts out with like kind of the idea of the hard problem of consciousness. Is consciousness this existential thing, or is consciousness, the argument of science right now, neuroscientists, or does the brain create, they say the brain creates, the bioelectric brain creates consciousness, whereas most other people say consciousness is this, is external, your soul, so to speak. Anyway, it's a serious discussion in science today, the hard problem, and it's called the hard problem of consciousness. I open up with that, but then I get, into some, madness, and there's AI in there, and there's actually a transcript of me talking to an AI, which is interesting and enlightening. And Then What is pretty much a flow of consciousness book, more like these shows. But there's some helpful things in there, I think. It's $8.95 or $9.95 on Amazon in print. Get the print version. Yes, you can get it on Apple Books and in Kindle, but don't, because the way I design my books, I'm the son of a printer. Literally, third generation. I have a nephew who's a fourth generation printer. Okay? In other words, printing and publishing, right? My grandfather's company was printing and publishing, Caravan Printing and Publishing. You know what I mean? So it's like my books are made for print. They're not digital. They're not for digital. Because there's images and graphics and different things like that don't work and make any sense on an iPhone or a tablet, right? Or a Kindle. You see? And the software, like I say, the failings of big tech today is they haven't figured it out. I've said this before. In this particular book, I actually did in an Apple program that had under the file menu, file, and you go down file and export to Apple Books. Literally within the program, right? I did it, so that it would, because I've been so frustrated that my books hadn't been translating. And I look at it on Apple Books because I have the Apple Book Reader, and it's like things are not in the right place. I mean, you could read it, but a book is more than reading, especially my books. Then What has, I don't know how many dozens of photos and images in it, and two forms, the budget form and a form that like help you like kind of like a worksheet to kind of get your mind, together, like what you like, what you dislike, and see like if your life is going on the right track. All right, all that said, sorry for the tangent. I'm getting there. I guess I